Path, Lesson 25, Respecting Others When You Disagree with Miss Love. Objectives. I can discuss the idea of respecting others. I can discuss the concept of empathy. I can practice how to handle disagreements with empathy and respect. Schedule, first journal, next lesson, last exit ticket. Our journal for this lesson is: what do you think life would be like if everyone practiced problem solving in the way we have learned to use it in our class? So, with the steps that we use, so first calming down, identifying the problem, identifying how you feel about the problem, coming up with a goal. So, how do you want to handle this problem? How do you want it to be resolved? Think about solutions, think about consequences. Once you figure out the best solution, make a plan, work your plan, and then rework your plan. Do you think that the world would be a better place if everybody practiced problem solving in that way? So you are going to have 2 minutes. On the next slide, you'll see a red bar. Once it turns completely red, your time is up, and we are going to move into our lesson. I know your responses were great. So I'm going to talk about respect and why it's important. Um, for this specific lesson, since we are talking about still maintaining a level of respect with others, even though you might be disagreeing with them, I think it's important for us to define what respect is. So, respect is an action word, it's something you do. It is to admire someone or something deeply as a result of their abilities, their qualities, or their achievements. And it does not turn on and off, right? It doesn't turn on and off if you agree or disagree with somebody. Just like those things that you respect about them, those things that you admire about them, they don't change because you disagree. So you can't say that you respect somebody or have respect for somebody and then the moment you disagree you stop respecting them, right? That wasn't ever respect in the first place. But also, respect is a two-way street. You can't expect people to respect you if you aren't showing respect to them, and vice versa, right? Somebody can't expect you to respect them if they're not respecting you. I also want to talk about empathy because you need both respect and empathy to successfully disagree with somebody. And empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. You don't have to feel the feelings or situation of someone else to understand it, right? So you don't have to have been in a situation or going through a situation for you to understand that situation and show empathy because of that understanding. So if you have a friend who lost somebody really close to them, even if you've never lost somebody close to you, to be empathetic, you would tap into a space where you might be able to understand what that feels like, right? So that is what empathy is. You might not have ever experienced it, but you're able to understand it. You can empathize with somebody. But it is very true that empathy is an easier act when you are moving with the respect of others. So if you respect somebody, 9 times out of 10 you know this person, right? Because it's hard to say that you respect somebody or have respect for somebody if you don't know anything about them. But so if you have respect and if you're moving in the manner of being respectful, empathy becomes easier. And the last thing I want to talk about before we get into practicing, still maintaining respect while disagreeing, is the golden rule. And the golden rule states that you should treat others the way that you want to be treated, right? So in that statement, there's a lot going on. There is respect because this shows concern for how somebody else is feeling, right? There's empathy because this shows concern for how somebody else is feeling. But above both of those, there's reciprocity. So, reciprocity is you getting what you're putting out, or you putting out what you want to receive. That's what reciprocity is. So, in the next few slides, we're actually going to go through some scenarios, two scenarios actually, that there's a disagreement that occurs, and we're going to talk about possible solutions for those disagreements that both incorporate respect and empathy. Scenario one: you and your mom or dad disagree about what your bedtime should be. You want to stay up late, and they are saying no. You are feeling pretty frustrated, and but you want to respect your parents and use the golden rule. So, what could you say or do? I'm going to give you guys about 10 seconds to think about this, then we're going to move into what a possible solution could be. So, a possible solution for scenario one is you could tell your parents that you disagree, but you understand and remember to use a pleasant tone. So, you have the ability to disagree with what somebody says, but in this particular situation, your parents typically have the authority, and they also have an understanding that you may not have, right? You want to stay up late, but your parents know that you have school the next day. They know that you don't produce the best when you don't get enough sleep. So in this situation, they have the authority. So you have to be able to convey that you disagree, but do it in a respectful way. Scenario two: you and a friend are working on a project for school, and it is going very slowly. The bell rings, and you really want to go to recess, but your partner wants to stay and work on the project. You really want to go out with your friends. Time is ticking away, and you want to leave. How can you use the golden rule to respectfully talk with your partner? I'm going to again give you guys about 10 seconds, and then we'll move into a possible solution. A possible solution for scenario two would be that you explain calmly to your partner that you recognize how he or she must be feeling, but you still want to go outside, and discuss another time to work. Let your partner know that you need a break and hope that he or she understands. So this one I really really like because it does quite a few things, right? You give an alternative to not working at that moment by discussing another time. right? You let your partner know that you need a break for your mental sanity from this project, right? But you also express empathy by saying, I understand how you must feel, but you allow them to give you that in return, right? You just say that you hope that they can understand why you've made the decision that you've made. So, having discussed those two scenarios, I just kind of want to recap what we've talked about today. The first thing is always practice the golden rule, right? If everybody practiced the golden rule, I think the world would be a better place. If everybody treated each other the way that they would want to be treated, we would have much more joy in the world. The next one is move with empathy, right? Move with empathy. That's a part of the golden rule. Empathy is embedded in the golden rule. Move with respect, another thing that's embedded in the golden rule. It's a part of it naturally. And lastly, just because you disagree with someone doesn't mean you have to disrespect them, right? As I said earlier, going back to what I said, it's not something that turns on and off, right? So if you disagree with somebody, you don't turn off your respect switch. You should still respect them and learn how to move in a respectful manner and get through this disagreement using the problem solving skills that I've taught you all within this class. In closing, our exit ticket for this lesson: do you think there would be less conflict and war in the world if everyone practiced the golden rule? So, if everybody treated each other the way that they wanted to be treated, do you think we could reduce conflict in the world? Do you think we could reduce war in the world? Let me know. You can post your response in the assignment with the same name as this video, and I look forward to it.